Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Zanette here. Alright, we're at the fill point. I have over here power supply with the appropriate jumper installed so that we turn the power supply on, and then we're gonna power up the pump by just adjust the pump, and I've got some paper towels put down underneath where the fittings are. See if we have any leaks. So let's take off the cap here, and this bottle is about half full. This is PC-Ice non-conductive coolant clear, and let's see if you can see here without me spilling. Okay, I've got the res filled, and looks like it's down over the pump. I don't see anything leaking out of the between the joint here, nothing, and nothing at the bottom. So alright, let's power this up and see if I read some places that if you tighten down the screws too much on the DCLT that it won't run. So I'm hoping that I don't have an issue there. Let's see if we can get this. Alright, we got power in here. Alright, let's see what we got just in case it decides to splash. Wow. Alright, that pump works. Now this coolant, last time I used the same coolant in the BitPhoenix Prodigy build, the high speed of the pump, you will turn up the coolant and made the coolant look a little bit whitish, but that's because of all the bubbles that it got in there. So alright. Do it again. Boy, that takes it fast, huh? I wish this had a regular top that you can put a nice big funnel on. Is this thing alright. Now maybe about time to continue. Got enough in there to, looks like we have enough. Oh. All of a sudden the pump stopped. Hey, what you may not have noticed from the last video that I did was that I actually had some coolant in the tubes here. I actually began filling the loop before I finished that other video, but the pump, the Alpha Cool DCLT pump, seized it. I had it filled up and it was running for about, I don't know, a few minutes with coolant making its way through, and then it just stopped. And so anyway, so I put in a call and got an RMA and actually ordered another one, and I'm going to return the other one for credit. But I need to replace the pump, and so I'm going to have to do that here now. And so I have two choices. I can drain what I've put in, or since this guy is sealed up, I think I'm going to do is see if it'll work. I'm going to flip this over and unscrew the pump from the bottom and put the new pump on. So that's what I plan to do here. And let's see if well, I'll give you a bird's eye look to see if that's going to cause any problems. Everything is secured down here. The only thing that's free floating in this is this guy. So I'm going to flip them over and see if we can get all the coolant to stay in the reservoir. Let's see what you can see on this. Alright, so what are you looking at? You see the pump upside down? Looks like I can get to it with the right tool. And let me get see if I can do that without any major spillage out. Alright. I have the pump undone. Well, I'm going to have to undo that nice sleeving job. Let's see about flipping it back over. Let's see if we have any leaks. Paper towel underneath some of the joints here. And under here I didn't have any leaks. Actually, there was just a little bit of drippage over here because I didn't have this tightened up all the way. So, yeah, back at that 45, I had a little bit of leak when I first fired it up. Alright, so let me get it hooked up and ready to power up and pump. See if this pump is good to go. Okay, here is the lead to the new pump. And here we have power connection connected to my NZXT Hale 1000 watt power supply, my benchtop testing power supply. Alright, power the plug in to the power supply, and let's see if we get any coolant running through its veins. Everything's powered up, and we have, let's see, make sure we have maybe some air, a little bit of air in here. Now, theoretically, since the pump is down on the bottom, everything's open through, there should be coolant in that pump, and it looks like it is surrounded by coolant, so let's turn it on. Alright, that's a pretty powerful pump, and we are moving fluid. The only thing is, now that it's stopped, I need to get more coolant in here. Alright, I'm gonna turn it on again. Okay, we have coolant running. That's not too loud, that pump. I don't know if you can hear it, there's a little bit of a hum. But I'm going to have it on the fan controller, so I'm going to be able to reduce that some. I think right now topping it off a little bit more. Alright, put the cap on it. Oh, maybe too much coolant. We got some room for air to get out. Definitely a lot of air in here. Just trying to get some of the air bled out of the radiator. Manly Wago. Alright, I'm going to let it run for a while, let it see if it'll bleed out of the system, and then get the power supply installed, get the cables redressed back there nice and neat. I guess I'm going to have to sleeve this guy again, or yeah, I'm going to have to sleeve him. Alright. Okay. We have the pump now completely wired up, and the pump power cable has been sleeved, the replacement pump, and everything is tidied up in the back. There are a lot of cables, but I did my best to dress them out of the way. Back along the side I have the front panel power from the pump, and the fans separated, and the white connectors up there are the connections to the fan controller that is going to adjust the pump speed and the exhaust fan at the top of the case. And then over to the left, you can see the white bundle here. That's got the main power and the 8-pin power from the motherboard. So I think I'm ready to put the power supply in and get this guy powered up through the motherboard and see if we have any issues, and then continue on with loading the software in the build. And I will, this little pump does have a little bit of a whine, but it's not that loud, and I'm going to have it on the fan controller, so I will adjust it full speed and put the mic up so you can hear it. So those of you who are interested in this Alpha Cool DCLT pump, get an idea what the sound is like, both controlled and at full volume. It's not that bad, and I think with the other fans in the system with the cover on, even at full, I don't know that's going to be an issue, but I'll put the mic down so you can hear it both ways. Before I close it all the way up, I just wanted to take it one more tour, because the power supply is going to cover everything up. We've got the motherboard. That's the ASRock ITX-E Z77 motherboard. And we have a couple of G-Skill Sniper 4GB modules on there for 8GB of RAM, and a USB splitter to take USB out to the front of this Lian case. Up in the top is a Samsung Blu-ray drive, and then below it in this cavity here is a Vertex 3 120GB SSD. Are all cabled up and powered up. Here's the power connection that goes to the power supply. It's kind of tucked out of the way, but I was able to sneak that in there. Then we have an EK LT Uni block on a i7 3570K. bits power, black matte finish fittings, a Coolant's quick disconnect, some Tygon tubing, alpha cool, DCLT pump, alpha cool DCLT plexi top, and a DC alpha cool mini individual reservoir for that setup. And then that is a Creative Sound Blaster titanium high definition audio card that's in the one PCI slot. And then on the back you will see this is a Sunbeam fan controller that allows you to do based on PWM if you're having a control for your motherboard, or voltage control, and that's the way this is set. It has a voltage control because the pump does not have an RPM speed control on it, and neither does the fan that's in the top either. So, and let's see, oh, and then in the front is it's an AeroCool Slimline 140 millimeter fan with a GT 140 Stealth black ice radiator, and we're going to put in it now a Seasonic 750 X Series Gold power supply, and that's going to cover up most everything. I'll get it all connected up, and then we'll be powering it up, and then I'll get you some audio from how the system sounds with the case open like this, and then we'll, after I get it loaded, we'll do some more audio so you can hear what the system sounds like with this little pump in it. The idea for it is to be quiet. It's going to be in the home theater system, but you know, normally if you have those, you have some fan noise, and we'll see what this one comes out with. Alright, so what we have here is a failure to communicate. Well, actually to connect. What I didn't consider is the connection point on the power supply for these plugs. If I have it oriented this way, even if I flip it around, if I flip it around, I might be in better shape, but if I have the fan here and the power supply this way, there's an interference right here. So this pump would have to be moved in. Now if I flip it around, it'll put those power connections up near the top. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So I thought I had thought of most everything, had the cables all dressed, but I didn't consider the bend radius it's going to take. And if you can see, right now the power supply is still hanging out of the case, you know, what, an inch or so. So that's going to come right up real close. So I'm going to have to flip this around and then see where the power connection should bring these guys up top, and it'll be better. And you know, again, this is not overclocking. The heat in this system shouldn't go up, and this fan doesn't turn on until I think it's like at 30% of the within the power usage. So then that's the only time that fan would kick on. So all right, so let me flop it around. All right, I have the power supply oriented so that the fan on the power supply is over the motherboard in this area, the vented spot, and now everything lines up without any interference. The cables are out through this side of the unit, and just gotta, I think it's like I gotta tuck that one away, but there she is. She fits, just fits in there without so there she is. She fits in there now without any interference. And even if I needed to put connectors in, it looks like they'll just make it. I won't need all those. The SSD power is connected, main power supply, 8-pin connected. Alright, so now let's fire it up. Okay, I have the system ready to be buttoned up, all of the cabling tightened up, everything's good to go inside the unit. I wanted to give you a listen to the sound of the pump and the sound of the fans. Basically, you can hear it to listen to the whole unit. So I'm going to put the microphone up on the front of the unit so you can hear the sound of the AeroCool 140 millimeters streamliner fan, and then I'm going to move it over to by the pump, and I'll adjust the pump speed up and down so that you can hear the noise the pump makes at different speeds within the 12 volts. And I don't have a meter on it, but based on the dial gauge that I turn, I'll try to give you an indication of what I think I'll just tell you what the setting's at, and you know, if it's full up, then that should be 12 volts full, and if it's not, it should be you know, somewhere down around the minimum voltage needed to run the pump. So, but first, here is the audio of the front fan, and right now the pump is on about 50%. So if you hear anything, that's probably what it's going to be. But here's the fan, and I'll be quiet for a minute. Alright, now I'll put the microphone down by the pump, right at the base of the pump basically. You can hear. See the mic down there? Alright, I'm going to adjust the power to the pump. Now it's going down to its lowest setting. This is on the lowest setting of the pump. Pump is still running. I don't know if you can see the coolant still moving a little bit in the top. I'll be quiet so you can hear. Now I'm going to turn it to about a quarter. Now it's gone about half. Now I'm going to about 3/4. And now I'm going all the way full voltage. Now you can definitely hear that. It's not that bad, but I don't know if the mic right up by the pump might sound worse. But that's on full. I'm turning it down to where I'm gonna, for me, I think right about there. That's about halfway, maybe a little bit more. And to me, all I hear is the sound of the fans. I really hardly hear the pump at all. A very slight motor whine, just a little bit. And then here's the fan at the top. And that's actually running at 50% voltage, because the fan controller is controlling both the pump and this fan. So, and this fan was always quiet. This is the original fan that came with the Lian case, and it was very quiet. I had it running for over a year in my office, and you could not hear that fan. So anyway, so hopefully that helps give you an idea of what the volume of that pump is. And it's been running steady for a couple of days quietly down here, and now I'm ready to button it up, finish the video, and hopefully that helps you decide. I think it's a quiet pump, and I'm going to put the sides on it, and we'll put the mic down again and see if you can hear it outside the side panel. Alright, now what we're going to do is listen to the pump and the sound of the case with the side panel on. Again, the pump is running at about 50% voltage, so I think it's quiet for me. And we'll see about cooling. Now let's take a look at some benchmarks. So using the integrated graphics on the 3750K, running Heaven Unigen benchmark with all the default settings, average frames per second is 12.7. The minimum was 8.8 and the max was 23.3. Now, I don't know if what overclocking the CPU might do, but that's just a benchmark for this. Again, this will be used to play HD movies in my home theater, so I'll have to give you guys some comments on how that goes once it's actually set up. But from a benchmark perspective, compared to stuff that we see on GTX 670s and 680s, that's crazy slow, but it is what it is. For video on big screen, I'll let you know. Okay, the 3D Mark 11 performance score is P887. Graphics score 756. The physics score 6,316. And that combined score is a 905. So that's the P score. Let's check out the X score. And the X score is 256. The specific results, the graphics score is 224, the physics score 6,371, and the combined score of 316. Next, 3D Mark Vantage. And the 3D Mark Vantage score is P4761 with a GPU score of 3,807 and a CPU score of 19,169. And next up, the 3D Mark Vantage X score. We have the 3D Mark Vantage X score at 1544. The GPU score is 1,472 and the CPU score is 19,580. Coming up lastly is the PC Mark 7 score. And the PC Mark 7 score is 7,082. The lightweight score is 5331, productivity 5459, creativity 11774, entertainment score 5502, computation score 26927, system storage score 5277, and those are all the scores we have. Okay, the last thing I did was run OCCT 4.3.1, and it's not overclocked. Obviously the home theater PC is not overclocked, but that's a 3570K, and I ran it for about 2 hours, hour and a half, 90 minutes. And temps, and temperatures didn't get over 46 degrees C. And the ambient temperature in this room is 23 degrees. So, running the OCCT CPU Lian pack for 90 minutes with 90% memory utilization on this guy right there, I was able to get those temperatures, and with the DCLT pump, alpha cool pump, running at 50% power. So anyway, alright, well that's it. I hope you enjoyed the build, and that's it on the Lian Li PC-Q08 home theater PC water cooled from Ron's and Nut, and Hope you enjoyed the build. If you did, please like. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe. That's it from Ron's and Nut. Until the next video. Thanks.